Hi guys! If you're watching this, then you survived YALC! Congratulations! If you weren't able to go, I'm really sorry. Don't forget to check out my Twitter and my Instagram because I was live tweeting every panel that I sat in on and I took loads of photos and posted them on Instagram. So links below if you want to catch up. I'm also going to be posting a more in-depth talk about the notes that I made and tweets and stuff on the panels that I sat in on. That will be going up on Sunday. And I also filmed an interview with fellow Bookish Brits, Michelle and Andrew. Unfortunately, the sound isn't very good on that one, so I'm going through and adding subtitles so you can hear their genius. So that will take a little bit longer than I initially hoped. It will be going up sometime in the next week, hopefully, and I will let you know as soon as it goes live, fairly obviously. But in the meantime, I just wanted to do a quick rundown of what I loved and what I didn't love about YALC. First of all, the panels. My two favourite panels were Bringing Sexy Back and LGBT and Young Adult Fiction. Both of those were incredibly important. It is so good and refreshing to see more diversity, more openness, willingness to talk about previously taboo subjects, some really fantastic authors, and it was really great to see who they write for, why they write it, what inspires them to write. Non Pratt particularly, her comment about how she writes for 14-year-old Non really struck with me, because she writes what she would want to know and want to hear about as a 14-year-old her. And also James Dawson in the LGBT panel, he was talking about how he wants to see boys not just hold hands in fiction, he wants better representation for gay men. And Louise O'Neill was talking about how she has a prominent asexual character in her upcoming book, which is fantastic because, again, yes, we're starting to talk about sex more, but asexuality is still something that's widely not talked about. So the panels were really enlightening and inspiring and fantastic, really fantastic. I keep using that word, but they really were. They just yes. So keep an eye out on Sunday for my breakdown of the panels and notes about them. My favourite author has to be Sarah Rees Brennan. It was incredible to see her. I got my copy of Unspoken signed. I fangirled. She knew who I was, which was just amazing. More people need to be reading her books. They are incredible. She's got a new book out in spring, April the 5th next year. At least I think it's April the 5th. It's going to be amazing. It really is. She gave me spoilers about what happens to Angela and Holly after the Limbo and Legacy trilogy, and it was just a dream come true. It really was. It was the highlight of my weekend. Closely followed by meeting and getting the Accident season signed by Moira Fowley-Doyle, because I love this book so much and it was so incredible to meet Moira. She's lovely. More people need to be reading this. It is out now and it is stunning. If you love Maggie Stiefvater, you are going to love this. Pick up a copy now, instantly. And then also, running into Non Pratt, author of Remix and Trouble. She was selling books at the Waterstone stall at the end of Sunday, and I bought a copy of Remix and got it signed, which was amazing. Surreal, but amazing. Author that I'm saddest to have missed. I didn't get to the signing queue for James Dawson, which I was really sad about, because he was incredible, but I was trying to sit in on so many panels on the Sunday that I just missed the queue for him entirely, and he was really busy, so that would have taken quite a long time, that queue. I was also really sad to miss L.A. Weatherly. She did a workshop on Friday, and I just completely blanked on it, and also it was incredibly full. I think that's one of the only ones that was completely fully booked. So many people wanted to go on it. And yeah, I was really sad to miss out on that. Things that I think could be improved. I would really like to see more next year. The panel space was huge, which was fantastic because it meant that you got so many people in, but the people at the back couldn't really hear because there was slightly dodgy microphone feedback and stuff. You couldn't really hear what was happening in the panels, so I would love to see smaller panels, but more of them. Yeah, you're going to have clashing things, but you already have clashing things between the workshops and the panels this year. So yeah, I'd really like to see more panels, smaller panels so that you can actually hear what's going on. And also microphones for the workshops, because the workshop space was right next to the signing queue and you just didn't hear anything, which was a real shame because there were so many awesome workshops going on this weekend. And it was really frustrating to not be able to hear what was being said, not be able to hear people when they were reading their work out. I'd also really like to see bloggers treated a little bit like press, because downstairs at London Film and Comic Con, press go in, they're allowed access to interview people and take photos and videos and write stuff up, and it's great. And bloggers are, in a way, the press of the book blogging and fiction world, and I'd really like to see that utilised. That was starting to be utilised in the two panels, Book Blogging for Beginners and Advanced Book Blogging, which were run by book bloggers who won the UK Young Adult Book Blogger Awards earlier this year, and I'd really like to see more of that. I'd like to see book bloggers being allowed access to interviews and pictures and take photos and videos of the panels, because that was one thing, we weren't allowed to video the panels, but they didn't tell us we weren't allowed to video the panels until quite a bit later in. So that was quite frustrating. I'd really like to see more of that, because then YALC is getting more promotion and stuff, because we're talking about it more and more people start to hear about it. Positive feedback loop, it's all good. So those are a few things that I'd really like to see done slightly differently next year, but on the whole it was an incredible experience. It was so good to meet so many authors, to go to these incredible panels, to see all these book bloggers and bookish people. It really was awesome. Such a good weekend. I'm so glad that I went. I've done a more formal write-up on the blog. I will be writing up my thoughts on the panels and things. That will be going live on Sunday, and I've included links for everything I have talked about down below, and hopefully I'll be getting that video up, the interview between Michelle and Andrew, which is brilliant, in the next week or so. But in the meantime, I hope you have a great week. I hope you're recovering from YALC okay, and I'll see you guys next Friday.